What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about why basketball is better in Europe. What? Really? Really? Now that statement would make a lot of Americans upset because, we think of basketball as like our thing, like our sport. But apparently, basketball is also very popular in Europe. And I think a lot of Americans, myself included, don't really realize that. And according to this video, basketball is actually done better in Europe. So I'm not exactly sure what that means. So today I want to check out this video by Business Explains the World and learn more about this. So let's take a look. Belgrade. Wow. Okay. Okay.
That was footage that I recently got from some new internet friends. And this is footage of me at a recent NBA game. Spot the difference?
Yeah? I mean, really? Is this what it's actually like? This is like what they say, like Serbia? Yeah, this video clip is from Belgrade, Serbia. This is a lot different. This is way more energy. This is like there were flares going off. What? Is that legal? Can you what? That guy's got like a flaming torch, like a flare in the stadium. Everyone's jumping up and down. This is like way more intense. Like the fan aspect of it is really different. I'm assuming the gameplay, like the basketball and the rules and the play, like that's all the same, right? It's the sport of basketball, but the atmosphere seems a lot more, I don't know, it's cool. It's like there's a lot more energy.
That was footage that I recently got from some new internet friends. And this is footage of me at a recent NBA game.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this is typical. This is normal in the US. This is what I would expect. Everyone's just like sitting, with your beer, watching you might yell or applaud like when your team scores, but no, the stadium isn't like bouncing up and down and like shooting off fireworks.
Spot the difference?
The fans definitely seem more excitable during the game, I'm guessing. But okay, let's just talk about that.
They are off the chain, right?
That contrast got me wondering. Why does basketball, and perhaps every sporting event, look so much more fun in Europe?
It does look more fun. I mean, it also looks like more dangerous. It looks like a riot. Like, it's like controlled chaos. There's a lot more flags. That's a thing, clearly. Like, pyrotechnics, people chanting. This is like, I've seen some clips of like a football in Europe with this kind of thing. Is this just normal behavior, like, at all European sporting events? Do you guys just like have a lot more like energy and passion than Americans do?
To find out, I compared team histories in a lot of sports on both sides of the Atlantic, talked with journalists, scholars, and former players, attended a couple games myself, and looked into the very origins of sports as businesses. And I think I found the answer.
Really? So she like investigated why in Europe, is it just like a part of European culture? Like Is there really like an explanation other than like this is how you guys behave? Like you have this is the expected behavior, like to be excited and yell, and I think that's really cool. Like that obviously changes the experience quite a bit. I don't know.
Full disclosure, I played one season of rec basketball at the YMCA when I was 9 or so, and I haven't really engaged with the sport at all since. Until the last 2 months, when I've been truly inundated with research and a little practice myself. So the first thing I wanted to do was to show this footage to some of my Dynamo colleagues, a few of whom actually follow professional basketball, to see if they had any theories about what's going on. This is a closed basketball arena.
Oh my God. It's not even close. This is way more over the top energy. Like, if you showed me this video and didn't tell me that it was basketball, I wouldn't even know what's going on. I wouldn't even know where we are. This is like this. That's a basketball game? I never would have guessed that.
Oh, here's a good one.
Whoa! Handheld fireworks in the middle of a crowd? That's nuts.
Yeah. We'll get more into the economics of the EuroLeague and the NBA a little bit later. But first, I had to ask, what stops NBA games from having this amount of verve?
Yeah. Yeah. Like here in the United States, we have the NBA. Extremely popular here. And people love it. People get like excited, but it's nothing like the energy of this European basketball. We don't have anything like that. I wonder why. Like, what explains that?
To find out, I hopped a train to New York to attend my first ever NBA game.
The teams were warming up before the game, and when the Knicks came out, they got kind of a lukewarm clapping.
How's the energy so far?
It's much better than it was earlier. I don't know if this is a thing that they do in Europe, but we're being assaulted with T-shirts. It's called the T-shirt toss.
Yeah, at sporting events in the US, they'll like shoot T-shirts out of like a cannon or like a gun into the audience, and that gets people excited. And I don't know, this is exactly like, I've been to like baseball games and some sporting events in the US and a basketball game, and yeah, this is like normal and the normal energy.
This is the most merch we've seen is for the free merch.
We do get the most excited for the free stuff.
I say this with no judgment towards either experience. This I'm just relaying what I saw. But I think after seeing that and after seeing what happens at a EuroLeague game, specifically a derby like Partizan versus Red Star, they're just fundamentally different fan experiences, even though they revolve around the same sport.
Exactly. It seems like a totally different experience. In Europe, I'm starting to think you guys it's more of a community feeling. Like everyone is there together, or like if you support a certain team, like you're on the same side and you're all like together and supporting and you're excited, and it's like an army of people. Whereas in the US, it's more like if I go to a sporting event, it's like, okay, nobody, please don't bother me. Like I had to spend money to buy tickets and travel, and like most Americans want it to be like their personal experience, and that's the priority. It lacks like the community feeling that these European video clips are showing. I think that kind of explains a massive difference.
Why this massive difference? It's a complicated answer that took me down several rabbit holes of cultural and political histories in both the US and Europe. But this show is called Business Explains the World. So in the end, I chose to focus on economic and business reasons.
Okay.
Well, I think I've narrowed it down to 4 factors, the last of which is, in my opinion, the most important. So let's breeze through these other 3 pretty quickly. Well, so first reason is the TV, the commercial breaks. I was surprised that the TV breaks happened as often as they did and lasted for as long as they did. I was like, this really takes the wind out of any energy I might have. The second is the arena.
Oh, right. So during a professional sporting event, in the United States, they literally have to like stop the game to allow the television to have commercial ad breaks. So people at home, it's like they prioritize the experience of people at home watching it on TV and selling commercials. So in the US, we're definitely like more focused on making money off the sport. Maybe that's what it is. We're more focused on that than like the actual fan experience of being there, the live experience. Yeah, I could absolutely. That's not a good thing.
The arenas themselves, American arenas just seem to be like a lot fancier. They have a lot more like luxurious options, and you can kind of like sit in your air-conditioned box with your personal chef and just watch the game as if it's a show. The third is
right. That's how it's like sort of meant to be in the US. Like that's what you expect. Like it's a personal experience, and you don't want to be like bothered by people or noises and yeah, it's meant to be like this upscale, fancy, exclusive experience, which has its benefits and I guess its drawbacks too.
relegations. There's like the top league, secondary league, average league, and then what we're calling the like shit league at the very bottom. Oh, here it is. Yeah, we have the shit league, just okay league. This is where I would be if I were ever on any sports team, and I would get relegated down to the shit league. So TV timeouts, arenas, and relegation. I think those three reasons go pretty far in explaining this massive fan difference.
Okay.
But I didn't think they were entirely sufficient. So let's talk business.
She's trying to say that the difference between the fan behavior and the exciting European experience and sort of the boring, low-energy American experience is because of business decisions? Or what?
The NBA's predecessor came to be when basically a bunch of owners and promoters of ice hockey arenas looked around their empty arenas on non-game nights and thought, surely there's a way to make money here.
Huh. Sure.
They formed the Basketball Association of America in 1946, absorbed a rival league in 1949 to make the NBA,
Okay.
and are now the second most profitable sports league in the world.
I didn't know that. The history of American basketball. I know the NBA is very, very successful and like makes a lot of money.
Behind, of course, American football.
Yeah.
It's the owners who decide when new teams should join and where they should play based on market potential in different cities.
Oh.
The NBA was always going to develop this way. It was just following a profit-motivated blueprint set by Major League Baseball decades prior.
Very American sounding already. I think all of our sports are now just motivated by making money rather than like the passion and the fans. And I mean, there's fans and there's excitement, and don't get me wrong, but the fans are just there to make money for the basketball business. And yeah, I believe that. Yeah, that's a very well-known American sort of way of thinking about it.
A business. See? Now, compare that to the origins of Serbian basketball teams, or really any European team and league.
Okay.
When they developed, they followed the blueprint set by English soccer.
Okay.
And that blueprint was distinctly not for profit.
Oh.
Instead of being created by wealthy owners, teams formed out of community organized and run sports clubs.
Oh.
And the point.
Yeah, I've heard of that term, like a club. It's a bit confusing for Americans. Like in football in Europe, there's all these clubs. I don't really understand any of that. So that's like a product of the way that the leagues were formed, with these non-profit, literal, like clubs, like local clubs. Is that about right? Yeah, that sounds very different. Like it's motivated by the love of the sport and like regular people like organizing it. Whereas here in the US, it's just motivated by making money, it sounds like.
And the point was not to make money. It was more about community involvement and health and fun. And they often relied on membership dues or government funds to stay afloat.
Man, That's nice. Good for you guys. That's really cool. Man, I actually hate to hear like that this is like the big difference between basketball and really sports and here in the US and Europe. It makes us sound like very greedy. And we probably are. This sounds like a much better way of doing it. A much more like organic, wholesome way of doing it.
Intercity rivalries often reflect long-standing economic or political beefs. Fans crowded into stadiums that often had far fewer seats than people who wanted to attend.
Wow.
And teams rarely moved cities. So whatever traditions, chants, songs were created back in the early days have largely stuck around.
Wow. Your sports actually have like traditions and like, I don't know, real fans. We have real fans in the US, but this is like taking it to a different level.
Today,
Yeah, like we don't have anything like this. There's no video of Americans like chanting and arm in arm, and we don't have this.
Today, despite the fact the club might be owned by somebody in a different country, they're still seen or regarded as a reflection or representation of the city or the town itself.
American sports commercialized and professionalized earlier and much more thoroughly than European sports. I think the biggest takeaway is this. While both NBA teams and EuroLeague teams are businesses in the sense that they have merchandise, revenues, customers, etc.,
Sure.
their very different origins and modern priorities make for super different modern-day struggles. Every business
Wow.
chooses which stakeholders to prioritize.
I have never thought about like American sports in this way. I think, well, we don't live under like a delusion here. We just don't really realize. Like, I didn't know that in Europe, like, it was normal to have so much more excitement and fun and passion and the chanting and even at basketball in Europe and maybe other sports too, like football, basketball, maybe others. Like, that's really cool. And the way these sports have developed in European history is really cool. I didn't know. I think most Americans have no idea about this.
For the EuroLeague and the clubs that form it, that's generally the fans and society more widely. The outcome? It overflows with fan passion, but lacks profit.
You're right. Okay. So it's a trade-off. The United States, we are good at milking every dollar, like making money from sports and making money from fans. And that is definitely the priority. I think a lot of Americans don't really think about that. We don't really care. We just want to like be comfortable and watch. And that's kind of the American experience. Whereas it feels like we're missing out on a whole thing. That's what it is. It feels like to me in the United States, our sports culture, we're just missing out on like this whole fan community experience.
The NBA has the opposite problem. By perhaps prioritizing profits a little too much, they risk losing longtime fans, as evidenced by declining TV ratings and a growing seeming disillusionment among fans.
Sure.
For long-term success in any business, not just basketball, balancing those two factors is key. Do you want to be a McDonald's with absolute market saturation and juggernaut profits, or an In-N-Out with much smaller profits but a loyal, dare I say, cult-like following?
It's a balance. I don't know which is better. I mean, I think Americans are like, we're content with how sports are here. Like, we're happy enough, but we don't really realize what we're missing. I think it would be cool if we had some of this European fan culture and the chanting or the the fireworks or the flames, or for us, that's crazy. That's like over the top. That's like, maybe that would almost be too much. Like, we wouldn't even know how to handle all that.
For the NBA, an opportunity to reevaluate how they do things is on the horizon. They're planning an imminent expansion into Europe. So maybe now they'll be able to both capture some of that sweet, sweet fan passion and turn a serious profit. Oh, imagine if I'd made it, though. That would have been...
Oh, the American NBA is trying to go into Europe. That's interesting. Obviously, to make money, but like, I don't know. And I don't know if Europeans watch the NBA here, or I've never really heard of the Euro League, the European Basketball League. That's cool. This is just a lot of stuff that Americans we don't know about. We don't know that we're missing out on. So this was cool. I do feel like we're missing out on something. I was wondering what this meant, that basketball is better in Europe. And as far as like the fan experience, it might be overwhelming for Americans, but it certainly seems like in many ways cooler, like, and more exciting. So yeah, I mean, in some ways it does seem better. I'll admit that. I can't believe it. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on European basketball versus like US basketball, or if you've ever been to a European basketball game, or the experience, or that'd be cool to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.